What is up, family, family, family? What is going on, y'all? The brothers of After Show Vibes are back in the building, the Man Cave edition. We are excited about being here with you all tonight. We have a great discussion for you all. We are ecstatic about jumping on. We are ecstatic about doing this. You all have asked for a part two of the Man Cave. So guess what? The brothers and I talked about it, and guess what? We're gonna give y'all what y'all want. We gotta give the people what they want. Yeah, I know y'all get tired of hearing the women always talking about what they want. The fellas tonight are gonna tell y'all what the fellas are looking for when it comes to marriage. What will make us say I do? Once again, that is our topic on the night. What will make us say I do? So y'all come on in, come on in. As you come in, like, share, tag, let everybody know that the man cave is here. So I am one of your hosts of the Man Cave, Reverend James H. Glover III, and also one of your hosts of After Show Vibes. We are excited about being here tonight. And I'm gonna kick it off to my brothers. We got another one of our brothers on his way in, and we are excited. First off, let me let y'all know that the reason why we was late getting started tonight, I'll take full responsibility. But we definitely thank God that we was able to get on here. So I'm gonna kick it over to my brother Tay, and then we're gonna kick it off from there. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tay from No Cap the Podcast, founder of the Galaxy Girls Inc. So I'm ready to talk about this. Let's go.
All right. Sorry, Corey, it's on you, my brother.
It's your boy Master C. Let's have a conversation. I'm ready for it. Let's talk.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, last conversation that we had, fellas, I'm telling y'all now, the ladies got a little heated at us, fellas. They got a little mad. Uh, and they didn't like what we had to say. Some of them didn't like what we had to say. But we
Hmm.
letting y'all know now. We coming here and we speaking straight facts. And there's one thing I do want to clear up that we said on the last show, just to let women know, just because you are, if you are saving yourself until you get married, do not think as not a man that is going to wait on you, because the correct man, the right man, is going to wait on you to make sure that you all enjoy this encounter the way that y'all are supposed to. So just because it seems like a lot of guys are doing it does not mean that you have to lower your standards. If that's your standards, stick with your standards, and just know that you're not for everybody, and just know that you was picked and wonderfully made for a specific purpose. But let's jump into this discussion on tonight, fellas.
Can I say
And
this though? Can I say this before we start? I got to say this because we all got messed up. We was in the group chat earlier, and I want to say this: women, we need y'all. Doesn't matter what these podcasters are saying. The man don't need a woman. If I could tell you what happened with all of us in that group chat just a few minutes ago, we need y'all for real. I just wanted to say that.
oh
We
yeah,
love y'all. We need y'all. We need y'all for
we
real.
definitely need y'all, because little. Let me tell y'all what happened in the group chat just a minute ago. Let's tell them. Let's tell them, fellas. Let's tell them. Let's tell them. So I'm on my way out. I'm on my way out to go watch my nieces get ready for their prom. As I'm leaving, I get a text in the group chat from the fellas talking about, "Hey, bro, we backstage. It's 6 o'clock. What do y'all mean y'all backstage? We ain't starting until 7." I showed them the flyer again. Oh, that means we starting at 8. Yes, the flyer says 7 Central Standard, 8 Eastern Standard. I'm telling y'all, women, we need y'all. We need y'all. We would be lost without y'all. No lies, no cap. We definitely need y'all, because y'all make us and help us stay organized in so many ways. Let me rephrase that. The right woman will help us stay organized in so many ways because there are some women that are not coming to add to our lives, but they're coming to add more stress to our life, more drama to our life, more confusion to our life. So that is why it is important on who we find ourselves finding as our safe space, as our safe place, as Simpson would say. We don't want to get caught up with no Delilah. We want to get caught up with the woman that we can be safe with and not have to worry about our deepest, darkest secrets being used against us.
Absolutely.
So, so let's start it off with the big question on tonight, fellas. Is marriage important? Is marriage important to us? I'll let y'all jump in and then I'll jump in after that. Is marriage important to us?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Yes, marriage is important. Speaking for myself, to me, because coming from a guy that has been married in the past and divorced, a lot of people don't want to be married after their first marriage. And they see it like they pin whatever happened in their first marriage on their next relationship. With me, I look forward to being married. Granted, I didn't want to be married more than once, but life happens. But I definitely do feel that marriage is important because we all need that companionship. But at the same time, I don't feel that just because you have a certificate means you're married, if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense, my brother. That makes perfect sense. Corey?
Marriage is important. It is important to the people who are doing it for the right reason. A lot of people get into marriage for many different reasons. And I'm also a divorcee too of 6 years, so I get it. Once you've been down that road, you're like, nah, I'm not that about to do that again. But I just posted a post a couple of minutes ago on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I said, you know what? When a man knows what he wants, he's gonna put everything in it. And I put at the end of that post that time is timeless. We got all these rules, and you gotta wait like this, you gotta wait like that. But when you know what you want, you go after it, you do what you gotta do, you put the time in, you put the effort in. We don't have too many people that are willing just to put all out and do what needs to be done to make a marriage work. We can hardly make it 3 months, 4 months in a relationship, let alone get into a marriage. So my answer to that is marriage is important to the people that are putting the actual time and work in to make the marriage work. So yes, it is important. Yeah.
For me, I'll make my answer short and sweet. Yeah, it's important because the scripture says when a man finds a wife, he finds his good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So, in other words, until I find my wife, until I meet that queen that is going to help take me to that next level that I'm supposed to go to, I'm missing out on some of my favor. And I don't know about anybody else, but I want every bit of the promise that God has for me. So I'm not going to settle for anything less than the queen that God has for me as well. And when she comes, what I'm going to do is make sure that I am adding something to her life. A lot of times, as men, we are hollowing, we want women to submit. We want a woman to submit. But brothers, let's keep it all the way a buck and keep it all the way 100. We're screaming we want women to submit, but what are we really giving women to submit to? There are some of us that are not bringing anything to the table but our mouth, and we're not bringing anything to the table for a woman to submit to. We telling a woman about 50,000 different plans that we have, And a woman is one that wants structure and order. She needs to know point A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P before she submits to you. So when a woman sees that you are not only asking her to submit, but that you are submitting to God as well and asking God to lead you so that you can come up with a plan for y'all's household, I think that the woman is not going to have a problem submitting. And that's why I say marriage is still important because we have to be able to tear down the devil's kingdom one brick at a time.
Okay.
So, okay, we ask y'all a question on here tonight. What do you all believe is some things that holds us back from getting married? What do y'all believe are some things that keeps us from being like, you know what, I want to get married? I know a lot of us will say, social media is easier for us to see nowadays because the old saying that some people use, what one woman won't do, another woman will. But what is it that's keeping us from getting married? Do you think that we're scared, or do you think that it's more caution to make sure that we don't pick wrong?
Um, I feel like it's a mix of fear and FOMO, fear of missing out, because like yeah, you want to be with that person forever. You want the white picket fence, you want everything with that person. But once it gets down to that point, like let's go to premarital counseling and all that different stuff, it's like, whoa, do am I really willing to spend the rest of my life with this person? And then when you finally decide, like, all right, maybe I'm not ready, then you start seeing your friends on social media, how they got married and all that stuff. And now you're like, damn, maybe I should be married. Maybe I should do this. But it's fear. It's fear. It boils down to fear. And are you mentally ready for it?
I like that. I like that. That's cool. And then I want to look at some of these comments that we're getting.
I'm looking at the comments too. I believe that we're not healed. We're not healed properly from our last marriage and what happened to us and what has transpired. We believe it could happen again. And I'm not saying everybody, but the majority are not healed because we went through some stuff that we didn't expect to experience. And I think that we need to be healed. We need to be properly reset our thinking and our patterns because again, the way that social media is putting things and allowing things to be is just not right. Um, we have allowed ourselves to it has to be this way, it has to be that way. And for me, I'm not basing my marriage on what somebody said or somebody's experience. I want to have an experience for myself. Because just because something went bad one time doesn't mean it's going to go bad again. It's just in our process of finding the right person, what are we doing differently that we didn't do before so that we can find that one? Because the scripture tells us it's the man that findeth the wife, findeth a good thing. So the woman is already who she's supposed to be. Am I the one that's supposed to be in her life? And everybody that we meet, or every woman that we encounter or that we meet, is that's not always going to be our wife. If that was the case, then we might as well do it. But we can't do that. I don't believe in that. For me, I'm not going to say that anybody can do, but for me, I can't do that. So at the end of the day, it's really taking the time, not wasting time, and and not staying for a long time, but putting the extensive time to say, who are you to me? What are you supposed to be? Just like we were talking about earlier in the chat about how we start off with the foundation. So where are we going? Where is this going? How is this going to start? Are we going to be at Are we at A? Are we going to be this? Are we going to be that? Because there's so many categories, there's so many things until we get to marriage. Because once people who have been divorced and like myself, we don't want to get divorced again. So it's like, what are we going to do to put this in place that we don't experience what we experienced? What I experienced before.
Definitely, I agree with that. Let's look at some of these comments, and then I'm gonna answer that question too. Hold on. One thing is the judicial system.
Mm.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
Because the judicial system is not built for. Let's keep it real. The judicial system is not built for us.
No.
It's
No.
built to keep us single. It's not built to keep us married.
Right.
Because, in all honesty, if you really look at the judicial system and the way that our government is set up, if a woman has a baby by a man and the man is not living with that woman, the woman can get more money. But the minute that the father is in the house with them, guess what? That money stops. So what is that automatically doing? That's automatically setting the one us up and putting us behind the eight ball, behind our counterparts by telling us that, yo, if we want this money, we're gonna give it to you, but you cannot come from a two-parent household.
Hmm.
You gotta understand the true meaning of marriage. Very true. Because marriage, I think sometimes what we have done is we have romanticized the wedding day that we forget about the marriage. Let me explain what I mean by that. We have romanticized the wedding day. We have gotten so caught up and we've gotten so caught up in making it look real cute, making sure that we get 1,000 pictures in, dressing up, seeing a bunch of people that you know deep down don't even like you, low key, but they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
come to get us some good food, some free good food. But nevertheless, you sitting here celebrating with people that you know deep down ain't really gonna celebrate with you. Marriage is really built, it's supposed to be built, should be built on long term longevity. What is it going to look like in 10 years from now, 15 years from now? We need to take a deep look at the wedding vows and make sure we understand what we are saying before we say them. For better or worse, for sicker in sickness and in health, and rich through richer and through poor. We there for the health. We there for the rich. There for the better. But when the worst comes, when the sickness comes, when the poor comes, we're ready to run. So was your
Bro,
marriage
what
really
is
built?
the worst? Right? We always talk about, for better or for worse. But what is the true definition of worse? Because things happen. Like I know somebody right now who's going through it's going through a tough time with the law and everything, right? It's on the news, it's crazy. And the wife is standing behind her husband. And in my mind, my little mind, I'm like, if I was her, if I was, how we do, like, oh, I wouldn't do that. And I thought about that, I'm like, yo, that's the worst part. Can you really stand and stay when things are really, and we're not talking about money, we're not talking about having a place to live, we're talking about when the odds are against you and your husband or your wife is being accused of something that it don't look promising. It don't look right. Like, are you going like we see these shows and these little clips on TikTok about the man being in jail and the wife is there? Like, can you really stand that? Can you really say, you know what? I'm gonna rock with her. I'm gonna rock with him. And it's like, are we really? Because I've been married about since I'm in the past. I've been married about 10 people so far, and a lot of them told me before I married them, they're like, we don't want to do the traditional vows because you have a lot of different vows, and they told me the ones. So it's like do you really want to stay or be in a place where, can you, as the song said, can you stand the rain? Are you really going to be? So it's something to really think about when you really get into marriage. Do you take that individual that you are in a relationship with? Do y'all put yourselves through things to see what can happen? Because my belief is, I always say a relationship is just a practice for marriage. Because a lot of times we're doing the things in our relationship that we're doing or supposed to do when we get married. Y'all don't want to hear me. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
with-
So it's really, what are we really doing? And like I said, what we talked about earlier, what is the foundation? It's easy to have sex. Take that out the way. It's easy to get a job, have some money, have a place to live. Take that out the way. But what is the rock between the hard place that is driving you to stay with this individual? Anybody can get a job. Anybody can have money. Anybody can have a nice place to live. Anybody can have good credit. And I'm saying that because all you got to do is fix your stuff up and you can do it. There's no excuse for nobody. But besides
Mhm.
all of that, when the odds are really against you, what are we doing?
I feel like our
I feel
sister
you.
tweet. Our
Hey,
sister tweet
Tweet,
asked a very good question. Do y'all think that women can tell when a man is desperate for love? Uh oh.
do y'all think a woman can tell? Oh, of course. Of course.
Oh, definitely,
Of
definitely.
course.
Definitely.
But who says that's wrong? Who says that's right? We need love. Bible says love is patient, love is kind. We can go on and on. Love is what it's supposed to do. For God so loved the world, he what? Gave his only begotten son. Was that it? Was that a desperate move?
I think what no, it's not desperate, but what I think also is that I think when a woman can tell when a man is too like eager to fall in love. I think a woman can tell when a man is too eager to fall in love. Like he's a nice guy, he's gonna ride or die, he's gonna do whatever that woman needs. But on the other hand, that ain't always a bad thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Who
But
says it's bad? Who says
but
it's good?
here's
It's
the
50
thing.
50
Here's the
50.
thing. Here's the thing. It's not a bad thing when you're doing it for the right person. When
Mm.
you're doing it for the wrong person, that person is going to manipulate it. It's
Yes,
going to
it is.
use it. They're going to use it to their advantage. They're going to be taking you for everything that you got. When you dealing with the correct person, when you are dealing with your helpmate, then that is when it becomes the good thing
But
because
watch
y'all
this,
gonna
bro.
help each other. Oh,
But watch this. There
look,
is.
our brother up in the building,
Hey, what's
Charlie
good,
up
man?
in here. What up, bro? All right.
I'm trying to make this thing work. It ain't working.
You gotta
You
fix
good,
your
boy.
week,
We can see
bro.
you. We can see you. You good. We got you. But go on ahead, Corey. What would you say?
And I'm gonna say this for both perspectives because I'm not gonna point out a woman or
Y'all,
not.
how
And I
y'all
say for
doing?
both perspectives.
I'm trying to make
I'm
this
good.
thing work. It's not working.
We
A
good,
lot
bro.
of us, a lot of us have not been
I
loved
need to leave the
properly.
Android life alone. That's what's going on.
We done told you last time. Come on over to the Apple. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
good.
that I think that a lot of us have not been loved properly. And I think that if we were loved properly, when true love comes, we wouldn't have to question it. And this on both sides of the spectrum. A lot of people question, oh, because I heard this on social media. Let's go by social media. You know, they say when a man, I'm this type of person. So if I'm going out on a date for the first time, I might buy you a gift. Someone says that's love bombing. I heard a girl say that's love bombing. How is that love bombing? This is the things that we were taught. When we go out on a date, we buy a woman a gift, we get her flowers, or we buy something, just to show our appreciation that we appreciate you taking the time out for us to go out to eat. A lot of people don't do that, and that's okay. But a lot of people men and women, us, we have not been loved properly or shown what true love is, because if we had it, we wouldn't know how to question. We wouldn't have to question. I'm sorry. We wouldn't have to question.
I agree with that. I think a lot of times there is a difference between men. I think what it is also is there's a difference between men and little boys. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
a lot of women have fell in love with little boys. And when a grown man comes around and he's loving her the proper way, because let me keep it real, I'm one of them type of dudes that don't tell me that you're going through an issue. Don't tell me that you're going through something, because the minute you tell me what it is, yo, if I can fix it, bet. Let's fix it right now. I'm not gonna sit here on the
Exactly.
phone and listen to you talk about it for 25 to 30 minutes. No, if I can fix it, bet. Let's fix it right now. There's no point in sitting there talking about it when I got the solution right here. Why are we sitting here wasting our time talking about it when we can be talking about something about our future? Why are we dealing with the issue that you're dealing with now when I have the solution for the issue right now? And I was told by a person, I was told, I gotta watch what I tell you, because I tell you what I'm going through, and before I even get it out of my sentence, you already got it handled.
Now, bro, that could be good and that could be bad. I literally just went through that not too long ago, and the chick, and I ain't speaking bad about her, but let's just say I did that. I'm hungry. I fed you. My children, my son needed Pampers. Boom, I was there. Um, just whatever it was, I was there. And we have to be careful, because a lot of times, and I always say this on all my broadcasts from before, from the past, a lot of women not looking for love. They're looking for help. And we talked about this earlier. We got
Mm,
to be careful of the place that we're placed in, because some of us are not placed for future. We're placed for right now, and we're placed for it feels good because of the benefit. What did we say earlier in the chat? There's a lot of women who are enjoying the benefit. They don't see a future with us. They don't want us. They ain't even gonna have sex with us. Let's come on. Let's tell the truth. But
True.
now I'm getting food. I'm getting Pampers. I'm getting money. I'm getting money for this, for that. I'm doing all of this, right? But when I ask you, where we going? Oh, we got to spend more time together. Then when you try to put in the time, I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm speaking truth. You gotta be careful, because it's not you, it's the benefit.
mm. So, in other
And
words,
this
what
is
you're saying is we have become low key without trying to Jesus Junior, saving them from their situations,
Right.
and that ain't what we was meant to do.
And it's
So,
okay. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing. It's not a bad thing, but and I showed Tweet this week, and I showed Sheree this week something that happened. If you're gonna come with a proposition, or if you're gonna come with this is what I want, or this is what I need, then you need to come with a little something. And I'm not talking about money. If okay, for instance, if you say, if a girl says to you, you know what, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home wife, and trying to date you, trying to talk to you, you want your woman to look presentable. You want your woman to look good. I would never call nobody ugly, because everybody's ugly in some type of way in their heart and on the outside. That's you. But
mhm.
at the end of the day, you cannot demand something and tell somebody this is what it's going to be and this is what I want, and then you're not even putting yourself over here to say, now, babes, I'm telling you what I want. Now, what do you want? Because the Bible says what? The two become one. And in order for the two to become one, you got to understand what it is that you both want and what it is that I can do so that we can continue to be one. Because I cannot be giving and doing everything and you do nothing. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? What are we agreeing on? Where are we going? What are we doing? How are we working together to make things be so that we can both be happy? It's not just about one person. It's about both of you being happy.
I agree with
And
that.
that could go so many ways. But that,
All right.
it's we have to come to the place where are we going? What's the foundation of this?
I agree with that. So I got a couple more questions for y'all tonight. What are y'all's opinions on 50-50 in relationships? And since we got our brother Charlie on now, I'm gonna let him kick it off, and then
Yeah.
I'll pick it up from there. Charlie, what's your opinion on 50-50 in relationships?
To
What's your
me, 50-50 means that if one time, if I don't have it, not one time, but many times, if I don't have it, you got me. It shouldn't be no complaints. It shouldn't be nothing because we in this together. So 50-50. If I got the rent next month, all right, cool. I might not have it next month. Yo, babe, what's up? All right, I might not have it this month. Can you got me right? Yeah, I got you. Cool. Everything else. If you don't got it, you know what I mean? Like I'm looking towards you. Can you help me out? Can you be my extra wing so we could keep flying? You know what I'm saying? It's 50-50 goes a long way. But in the long run, you can't keep depending on it. Can I say that?
Mhm.
Can I say that?
Yeah, yeah,
Do y'all agree?
yeah. I agree with you on that. You can't keep depending on it. It's got to be both of y'all giving for for it to make it to where it needs to make. I agree
Hmm.
with that.
Hmm.
All right, Tay, we're gonna go with you. What is your opinion on 50-50 in relationships?
Um, I truly believe that it can work, but it's not always going to be an option. Because if I'm dating someone and I lose my job tomorrow, then the bur- the burden is going to be on that person. If we're living together and we have a car together, we have a house together. If I can't pay something, of course I'm going to look for a job as fast as I can, but I'm not going to be able to pay the rent that month. So of course she's going to have to take up most of the responsibilities that we were splitting. So if I can't do my half, she's going to have to do a hundred until I get back on my feet. So yeah, it can work, but a lot of people are not going to stick around when you're down in the dirt. That's what I've learned from many of my past relationships.
Mm,
Mm.
So
mm.
that's all I gotta
I,
say about that.
I agree with that. Corey, and then I'll give my opinion after you, Corey.
I want to hear what Corey got to say. I want to hear it. Corey the
Listen,
Guru. That's your name. I want to hear this.
listen. Our chat be bombing in our group in our big chat. Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this with all respect. Lord, give me the wisdom.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. You don't eat rice just by itself. You always have something to go with it, right? There's nothing that we do in life that we never do it just by itself. Nothing. So you never want to go into a relationship and you're doing it by yourself. Because if you're doing it by yourself, then you should just be by yourself. So never go into a relationship basing that life is going to be on that one individual, because that's what it's going to be. 50-50. It should be 50-50. And the reason why it
Hmm.
should be 50-50,
Hmm.
because it goes back to what we said earlier, things are not going to always be ice
B.
cream and cake.
Yeah,
It's
it
not.
ain't. You're right.
It's not.
Exactly.
So take
Exactly.
that rice and add some chicken with it. Add some vegetables with it.
add some you can add another meat with it, whatever it is that you want, right? So you're gonna want to have to learn to say, baby, what can you add to me, and what can I add to you? 50-50 makes 100. In order for it to be 100, I got to see what can we do to make this work. I'm not going to always have it. You're not going to always have it. But guess what? How do we break that cycle? By taking our bills, by taking what we got, and seeing what it is that we can eliminate right now so that we don't have to struggle. Because, see, that's the point. We don't have to struggle. We struggle because we want to struggle. We struggle or we go through because we want to go through. There's a lot of things, this goes for us single or in a relationship. There's a lot of things that we have in our house that we don't need. We could call our cousin, our brother, our sister. Hey, let me use your Netflix. Let me use your BET Plus. There's a lot of things that we paying for and that we doing that we could share. I give out my stuff all the time. I share all the time. That's just me because I don't want nobody to have to struggle. So thank you, Holy Spirit. What is it, babes, that I could do to bring to your life where you don't have to struggle anymore? Because you've been struggling by yourself. So what is it now that I could come in, be the man, and take and say, babe, we're not going to struggle with that no more. We're going to find another route. A man with a plan can make things happen. And a woman behind him pushes him, encourages him, and brings him to the point where say, even if we wrong, babe, I support you. But get behind closed doors like, babe, that was the worst thing in the world. But still encourage him and say, babe, let's find another plan. Let's find another way. So find somebody that can add something to that rice. Find somebody that can add something to your life, men and women. Don't go with somebody who can't add anything. And if they can't add anything, find something that they can be able to say, you know what? I can't do this, but I can do this. Let's not be picky and choosy, but let's find where we can help each other. Because that's what it's all about. Help me, meet me halfway. And that's
I
it.
agree with that. I think for me, it's when we look at that word 50-50, I think sometimes we look at it as a downgrade or look at it as somebody is not coming with what they're supposed to come with. But in all honesty, if you're really technical with it and you're really 100% honest with it, 50-50 means that, yo, I'm coming with my half, you come with your half, and
Absolutely.
we're gonna bring everything to the table to make it
Mhm.
10 times better. Because
Absolutely.
let's keep it real. Like it's like playing a video game, right? On a certain level, what I had worked. I could beat certain levels with what I had on that level. But as time progressed and as life got harder, and as I went to another level, I had to gain other equipment in order to beat that level. I had to become better equipped to beat that level. In other words, what I'm saying is, in order to win in life the way that I need to, I'm going to need some other things that maybe that hopefully my woman is providing so that we can make it through these other levels. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. My woman does not have to be in the ring fighting with me, but she cannot be fighting against me.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Like, baby, if you don't want to get in the ring and fight with me, you too pretty, you don't want to get your nails messed up, you don't want to get your hair messed up, that's fine. Stand on the sideline and be my biggest cheerleader. But I'll be darned if I'm sitting up in here fighting this ring by myself and you fighting against me. Let's keep it real. I could do bad all by myself. So if
Absolutely.
you are not at the table something besides a cute face and everything else, then yo, I'm done. You gotta come to the table with you gotta come to that table with some God in you. You gotta come to that table bringing a plan. Most importantly, you got to come to that table bringing God. Secondly, you got to be bringing a plan. thirdly, you got to be coming with your own thing going on. Because let's keep it real, I stay busy.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do to do is I need a woman to understand that my man stays busy. He's not out here flirting with other women. He is out here working to build our empire. What can I do to help him build this empire so that maybe he doesn't have to work as hard? What can I add to the table to where maybe I can get more time with my man?
Bro, think about this, right? Somebody said in the comments, when do you have this conversation? And I said, I thought about that. I have a 3-3-3 rule, 3 months rule, 3 months, 3-3-3-3-3, right? And I get that y'all talk about this friendship stuff because we talked about that earlier. We ain't gonna get into that because we had a whole big issue last time.
No, we're
But
gonna get into that tonight.
okay, all right. It's wherein, like a house, like I said earlier in our group chat, like a house. The architect doesn't say, okay, we're gonna put the TV here, we're gonna put the TV there. It starts off small. You gotta have the hard conversation. And a lot of people, we talk about sex. Let's be honest. We talk about sex. We talk about what you can do in the bedroom. That's all great and dandy. But after sex, what's next? After you have sex, after you get the goods, what are we doing? I want to find out, what are your bills? I want to find out, what are your biggest bills? What is something that's keeping you from having money for the rest of the month? And most of our big bills are what? Our rent, car note, and car insurance. How could we, like when I was married, I told my ex-wife, I said, we need to bring this down. Be smart. Find out ways we could bring the amount down a little bit. So it comes to the point where there is never a right time or a wrong time to have these conversations, but find out what's her bills. Find out what's her biggest bills. Find out what are your biggest bills. And think about what life would be if we put both of our bills together. Who has bad credit? Who has good credit? And you work on the things that are making you not make it to the next level. Because just because you have bad credit does not mean you're a bad person. Just because you have a whole bunch of bills does not make you a bad person. You just need the right person to help you sort things out to say, all right, babe, let's knock this out. Let's take this check. Let's sacrifice. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice. The scripture tells us, and I wrote this down, love is patient. And a lot of people, including myself, because I'm working on it, a lot of us don't have patience. We don't have patience. So in dating, if you love somebody, you need to say, I need to have the patience to deal with this. Doesn't say that they're a bad person, but what could I do to make things better in both of our lives? You get what I'm saying?
Totally, boy. Totally. It's where you have to you have to make sure that you're coming with everything that you need in order to be successful. You have to make sure that they say that when you're in relationships that love isn't enough.
No, love it is enough. Because it's gonna take love for us to get to the next level. Because if you don't love, the Bible says love is patient, love is kind. We know what the Bible says, going on and on and on. So if I don't have love, I can't go with you to the next level. I heard the girl say on TikTok, well, love don't pay bills. It don't pay bills, but guess what? If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here. Because it's easy to like somebody, it's easy to have lust. But if I don't love you, I won't be able to be here through good sickness and in health, through bad, through hurt, through pains. Because anybody that don't love you, you know the outcome. If they don't love you, they don't care about you, they're gonna leave you out to the wolves. And you
And I agree.
stuck.
I agree with that. And I think what they mean when they say that is you gotta have love. You gotta have that.
Absolutely.
But you got to come to more with to the table than love. Because
Absolutely.
there are some people that will be doing their dirt, they will be acting up, and they will be doing everything that they big and bad enough to do, and then come to their spouse and be like, "But baby, I love you. But
No,
baby, I
that's
love
not
you."
right.
there becomes a time where a woman or a man has to sit there and look at that situation and be like, love wouldn't sweet me like this.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the words of Tony Braxton, love should have brought you home to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, come on, like I know you say you love me. Do you love me or do you love the thought of me?
No, or what I could do for you.
Bingo.
The
So all right,
benefits.
let me go into this and then we'll open it up for them to come in the comments and ask us some more questions tonight. So last question I got for us tonight. We talked about in the group chat on friendships. Being friends before you say I do. Now for me, I'll start it off. For me, I thought here's how I feel about it.
Did your
Important.
thought change from our conversation earlier, or you agree with me, or it changed?
Hold on, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
But for me, I would say that before we get in a relationship or before we get started, I have to start talking to you. I have to get to know you. I have to get to know your likes, your dislikes. I have to get to know whether I can build a future with you or not. It's like building a house. You have to start it off with the bare minimum first. You have to start it off with the bare necessities. Then, as time goes on, as we go a little bit further, I can figure out, okay, yo, I really actually can build a relationship with you because
Mm-hmm.
I love your energy. I love what you are coming with. Now, I thought at that point that was called building a friendship. But as my brother Corey told me, and as he said it, I was like, that
Hold
actually
up, wait,
makes
wait, 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 Corey, what did you say? I wasn't there for that part.
Well,
Let me
I'll
hear
yeah,
wait
it.
till
it was
last.
in the
I'll
group
wait till
chat.
last. Go ahead.
It was in the group chat.
It's in
But
the
he
group
said in the
chat.
group chat.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So for me, after hearing what he said, what that basically is starting off your resume. It is starting off a resume to see, yo, can I be in a relationship with this person? What are they really bringing to the table? Because
Mhm.
let's be real and let's keep it honest on here on tonight. The first couple of dates, you are not really meeting that person, you meeting their representative. They are going to come to the table bringing you everything that they think that you want. Then,
Yeah, and
as they
then
get comfortable, then you're going to start seeing the real them. Now,
yeah,
for me, I had to get set on that because I was doing that my own self. And my woman checked me on it. And she's like, when we first started, like I was getting the good morning text, I was getting everything that I used to get. I
but you
get
know
that.
what's crazy?
I
I
get
ain't
that.
mean to cut you.
I
I ain't
guess
mean to
that.
cut you off.
Yeah, you
Go
good,
ahead.
bro. She's
No,
like,
but
I
you
get
know
that.
what's crazy? Some females, they don't like to hear that over and over again. They think it's repetitive. So does that mean, oh, I'm overdoing it?
I think what that means is that you're not building enough of a conversation. Because let's say I can text you every morning, right? And if I text this woman every morning and all I'm saying is good morning, beautiful, pray you're having a great day. And then I don't text her again until that night, talking about I pray that your day was well. If there's no conversation in between there, then yeah, that woman is gonna get tired of it because all you really doing is you're second in the morning and you're second in at night. You gotta build some time in there to where you're having a conversation with them about
Yeah.
how they're doing, what they got planned for their day, and all of that. So I'm gonna let Tay go, then I'm gonna let Charlie, then I'm gonna let Corey. I'm gonna let you go after that, boy, because they saying save you for last. So
No problem.
Tay, you up, my brother? Tay,
So the question was, should you be friends before marriage?
yes sir.
Okay, so here here's coming from me. So I actually married my best friend, like from we knew each other since we were in kindergarten.
Wow.
So I don't know how that pertains because I literally did it. Like we grew up together, we lived right across the street from each other, we did everything together, started dating in middle school, but got serious in high school, and then got married when I went into the army. And we were married ever since. And then we got divorced a few years later. So there's no bad blood there, but coming from my point of view, I do feel that you should build that friendship with the person you plan on marrying because you start to learn little tiny things that only a friend would know before you get married to that person. So, yeah.
I feel that. Charlie?
I believe what Tay is saying, the same thing. Yeah, you can. Y'all could share secrets, but then again, when one of you get mad, you can't throw that secret at them. That would devastate your friendship. But I really believe that yes, you can. You can marry it. Why don't y'all want to build that? Like I could come to you, yo, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. Sure, why not? I never experienced marriage like Tay did. I don't know if Corey ever got married. Corey,
I've been married
you got
before.
married before?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been married before. Yeah.
So it's only wait, James, you got married before?
No, not
So
yet.
it's only me. It's only me and you. That's the odds out on this conversation. But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we
We the only
we
ones that
tapping
get
in.
it. Yeah, my brother.
We tapping in. Okay.
Yep, yep, yep. We next. We next.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been in a lot of relationships. Uh, ugh. Do I want to get married? Yeah, I do. I think it's the end all, the be all. I think I know what it takes to keep the marriage going because I know what it takes to keep a relationship going. I want to see what marriage is all about, to tell you the truth. I just had this conversation too. But yeah, I really do believe that you can do it if you involve everything, including that 50-50 as well. I mean, y'all friends, y'all been friends for so long. She should know what hurts you, what make you feel better, and all those other things that's going to keep everything on a positive note. So, just like Tay, yeah, I think you can. You could do it.
Okay. Okay. All right, Corey. Hit us with it, my brother.
I'm just gonna give you a different perspective,
Here
right?
come
Because
Guru.
we had this
Mm-hmm.
conversation earlier. So when we look up the word friend, this is the real meaning of a friend. A friend is your buddy, your pal, your amigo, your comrade. You know someone that you could trust. It's like enough to hang out with on a regular basis. That's a non friendship that comes to us from the old English word farad. Farad. So, as I said earlier, we were talking about this earlier, and I said last time on the podcast when we were on here, a friend is a friend for a reason. And a lot of times, I said this in the chat earlier, a lot of times, a lot of women use that, oh, we need to start off as friends first because one, they either don't like you, two, they either want to place you somewhere that you're never going to be. I have friends who I've never slept with. I have friends who we hang out and we don't do the 50-50 thing. We either one of us pays the whole bill for all of us or we just keep it moving. That's the type of relationships that we have, right? They're my friends. These are specific people who I trust, who I go to, who I can call, who are there for me. These are not people who I sleep with. These are not people who we don't have a romantic relationship. Are we ever going to be together? No. These are specifically friends who are my friends who have been here for years, who I can trust, who I could call on. One of them is my beneficiary if I die today, whatever the case may be. So these are my friends. So when you're dating to marry, for me, there is no such thing as being friends. Because if you're gonna what okay, so if we're gonna be friends, then that means, right? That means that you have to understand that all his friends or all her friends, there's a possibility that they can be together because we're friends, right? So you know all this about me, I know all this about you. Then we're gonna be together. You know, Steve Harvey made a comment, and I do not agree with it. He said, you know, that man is only your friend because of the fact that he wants to be with you. That's not true. I think that our generation does not know how to communicate or understand the true meaning of a friend. The scripture says if you want to show yourself friendly, it said that if you want a friend, you have to show yourself friendly. It didn't say nothing about being a friend to being romantic. No. Like we got to understand if I'm going to marry you, if I'm going to be in a relationship with you, then we are building a foundation of connection. We are building a place where we can move from dating, from getting to know each other, from having that connection. Now we can be boyfriend and girlfriend. We move from boyfriend and girlfriend to being engaged and to being married. It's okay. You don't have to agree with me because I don't be fighting in the comments. But if you're going to tell me that we are friends, that's it. You friend zoned me. So that's all we got. So we got to be careful of what place he or she is going to place you. Because now if we're going to start off as friends, then that means all my friends down the line they got a spot. Because we friends. You got to be careful of the lingo that we use because no, I'm not going to be your friend. I'm going to be your person that you're getting to know, that you're taking the time out to get to know things. Why are we throwing this friend loosely? That's why a friend can stab you in the back. That's why a friend you can get money from them and they won't pay you back and now you're at odds. All my friends, and I'm not gonna name them, but literally all my friends, we borrow money from each other. We're there for each other, and I have been friends with them more than 10 years. We have never stabbed each other in the back. Of course, we have disagreements. One of my friends who just had a birthday, we had one little argument that made us separate for maybe 2-3 months, and we came back together because I did something that she asked me not to do. Right, and I'm being transparent. That's a friend where you could come back and say, you know what, we're gonna work it out because we're tight, we're cool. So I don't believe, and I'm not knocking nobody. You're entitled to believe what you want, but just looking at it at a different perspective. If you're gonna be my friend, then that means all my friends got dibs, and that's not the case. Learn to put your friends in a perspective. I saw that I think they're making a new movie or something out where I saw on TikTok where they're saying the girls are friends, that girls secretly go and sleep with each other and all that stuff. And the same thing for the men. You got to learn how to put this stuff in its right perspective. What are we? Where are we going? What it is that you want? Because if you look at the first definition of a friend, it says talk about affection and all that stuff. No, we're not doing that over here. Because now that's called friends with benefits. We're not doing that. Because now you just want to be my friend because again, it's the benefit of what you're getting. And you have to be careful because everybody loves benefits. We all do, male or female. We getting some because, bro, I heard you say it earlier in the group chat. You was like, well, if she's my friend, I'll be getting some. No, that's not what it should be about. Learn how to be a man and be a friend to her, be a confidant to her, and be what you're supposed to be to her, and not getting her draws. Can you be a man and say we could be friends? And of course we're going to be attracted to a woman, but can you put that aside and say I forget all of that? I want to be your friend. You can't do that. None of us can. And I'm talking about the men. You cannot be friends with a woman that you're attracted to and you want to knock her boots. Let's be honest. And you said it earlier in the group chat, bro. I ain't trying to knock you, but you said it earlier. You know why?
Who? Who said
I
that?
um not James, not James.
So,
I can't
so
think of his name.
Corey,
Yeah.
so
Charlie.
Corey, you don't believe like it's different levels of friendship?
No. No.
No?
I
We
think
we no. We do that. That's called excuses. Because listen, if we're gonna be friends, right?
Hmm.
You said it earlier. It was you that said it earlier in the group chat. You was like, well, if I'm friends and she let me hit, then what is that? Because now you friends, she let you hit. What's that? Friends with
A,
benefits, right?
a benefit. Yeah, you're right.
So if she don't let you hit and you want to hit, you're gonna keep doing everything you could do so that you can eventually hit.
No, not really, because maybe she's not interested in me in that way.
So would you still be if she tell you, I don't want no relationship with you, I don't want to have sex with you, none of that, we just gonna be friends? How you gonna feel?
I'll be like, oh, well, okay.
Most
To
people
be
still
honest with
reject.
you, yeah. To be honest
Still
with you, yeah,
reject.
I'll be like, oh, well, all right. Well, if I came off to you wrong like that, well, my apologies. Be straight up. But you know, you're right about that.
So we gotta really put things back in this perspective. If you say right now,
Yeah.
if you talking to a girl and she said you're friends, all right, we friends. But there are stipulations to friendship. Because now this generation has it where if you're my friend, you got to do this, you got to do that. That's not the case. All my friends, we have a great relationship. We could talk about anything. We talk about our relationships, talk about their marriages, things like that, their children, whatever the case may be. Now that's a friend. But we're not gonna be romantic. We're not kissing. We're not holding hands. We might play around and stuff like that. But we're not doing that. We're not. That's not the type of party. So when it comes to a romantic relationship with a woman and a man trying to move to the next level of marriage, that's a whole different ballgame. Don't come to me talking about friends, because once you say that, that's it. We're just gonna be friends.
Hmm.
And mind you, you might not even be my friend because I don't let people into my friendship circle like that. Because a lot of people you can't trust. Again, I go back to this all the time. Some people just want to be in your life for the benefit, and it's not just money, but you got stuff that they want. They want your knowledge. They want your wisdom. They want your love. They want the things that you could do. When all you got to do is just ask a question: how do you do that? So yeah, you ain't
So
got to agree.
no, for me, this is how I feel about it. The way I feel about it is I feel that I used to think that was called being friends with the person, what I considered it. But now I realize what that is that's building the building
Mhm.
blocks. That's putting the building blocks in place to build what you are needing. Now, let's be real. Where they say this phrase right here, so you wouldn't consider your wife your best friend.
No,
Now, when I
no.
get married, my
Mhm.
wife will be the one that I tell most of these things
Mhm.
to.
Right.
Now, I will still have my friends that
Hmm.
I still consider my best friends. Now, my wife, she is my wife. She is my
Confident.
everything.
Hmm.
She is
Hmm.
my everything. If she is my safe place, then she is that space for me to be that man that I'm able to be. Now,
Hmm.
however, when my wife stops becoming my safe space and I'm ending up dealing with more drama with her than what I'm having to deal with anybody else, then I'm not going to seat. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to have a conversation with her, and then if the conversation don't work, then what I'm going to do is I will walk away
Hmm.
from that situation or that relationship. So before we close out tonight, is there anybody that maybe has any questions for the
You
brothers?
wanna? It's questions on here.
Hold
Yes.
on.
Let's go
I think
back up to. I'm trying to go back from the beginning. So Tweet said there is nothing wrong with a man gifting a woman. That was 829. That's a bad thing.
I thought I looked up. I thought I grabbed most of the comments.
Okay. I like
I'm
this one. Author Nikki Nicole said, which is so true. This was 838. She says people don't try to connect anymore or take the time to get to know each other. And that is so true. That is true because
Yeah,
again,
it is.
you know what? Can I say this? And I'm not knocking nobody. This is just my
Mhm.
opinion. You don't have to
Go
agree.
ahead.
We label everything too much too soon.
Hmm. Yeah, you're
How I'm
right.
calling you my friend? I don't even know you. How we talk? Are we gonna be friends? I don't even know you. You could be crazy. You could be insane. You could be a killer. You could be a rapist. You could be a sex offender. Anything, and that's on both sides of the spectrum. That's not just saying just men and women, because women are too. It could be anything. You could be poor and trying to come up on somebody, and I'm not knocking nobody, but I don't even know you, and we throwing labels out with two
Yeah,
people, two individuals who don't know each other, and we're trying to get to know each other. And whatever it is
yeah,
that you don't like, and let me just say this too: when you're talking to people, communicate with them. Don't call your
yeah.
girls, don't call your guy friends. Tell them, listen, I didn't like what you did, and what you did, it bothered me. Now, how can we fix this? Because that's the problem. We're holding on to too much stuff instead of expressing ourselves, saying how we feel, putting it out on the table. And I don't want to say challenging them, but I'm going to put that out there. That's the word that comes to my mind. But challenging them to see, do you really care about my feelings? See, that's
Mm,
another way to know if you're even validated by that woman or by that man.
yeah,
Because men have feelings just as well as women. And we're not going to make this a male or female thing. It's both ways. You both have feelings, and you need to be validated to understand if I feel like X, Y, and Z. How are you going to be able to fix that? And that's on both sides of the spectrum. Stop throwing labels and learn to communicate and say, this is how I feel. I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z. Because if you hold that and don't express it, and then you get into a relationship or a marriage, now it's gonna get blown up to something big when it could be fixed. Like I said the other night when I was on Tweet's podcast, you just gotta learn how to sever and take away the arguments. You don't gotta argue. It's all about communicating and talking about how you feel. Babes,
but
you know what? Your breath stink a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And not to be disrespectful, but could you use a little oil pulling, or could you use a little mouth? And it's not to be disrespectful, but it's just
but
ways to communicate. Like your bonnet stink. You need to throw that in the wash a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? Your balls smell, whatever the case may be. Sorry to be vulgar, but just it could be anything. You know what I'm
but
saying?
then
Well, I don't like the way you do your haircut. Could you do it this way? Just offering, like, babes, could you,
I
the rice
feel,
was a little hard this time. Could you
but
make it a little
Corey,
soft? And this is how you do it. Hmm.
Corey, check this, check this. I feel
Hmm.
you on that comment, but then again, some people don't like how you talk to them. They think I mean, some females be like, "Oh, you my daddy?" No, I'm not your daddy. I'm just trying to show you something different. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
But because watch, they always say, and I hear this all the time, oh, I want a man to lead, or I want a man to take control, I want a man to do
Yeah,
this. But when we try to, especially because for me, I'm big on smells. You gotta smell good. That is a big thing for me. Your bonnet cannot stink like 4 days up. No, listen, you gotta keep yourself up. I'm big on that. My house is clean, I'm clean. I gotta, there's just a certain way. So I'm gonna express certain things in a tone, in a nice way where it won't hurt you. Because now leave a space for you to come back at me. You say something, you come back at me so that we can fix it, so we don't have problems. Because a lot of folks think that some people think they don't gotta take a shower every day. Some people think
hmm,
they don't have to put deodorant on every day. There's literally people who think like that. There's some people
yeah.
that feel like they don't gotta wash their sheets until 4 or 5 weeks from now. Those things matter. And see, this is the thing about communicating and building. You need to talk about these things. How many times a week do you wash your sheets? How many times a month do you wash your sheets? How many times a day do you brush your teeth? What's important to you when it comes to sex? What's important to you? What do you like to do? Because there's some people that's in BDSM. There's some people who are in different type of crazy stuff, and then you get
Hmm.
married to this person, and you didn't
Yeah.
even know that they was into this type of stuff because you didn't have the
I
conversations.
I
There's
think
so
that's
many things to
when
talk about.
the friendship conversation came in first before you married them.
No, but that's not even friendship. Cause you can't you like again, like I said, we're throwing labels on folks we don't even know. We can't you
True.
I can't give you a label. And look, there's some people that wouldn't even drink the water I drink. It's a problem. That's nasty water. So you got to
Yeah,
talk about that. I love candles. So some people might not like candles. So
I
there's
do
there's a
too.
lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to discuss when getting to know that person. Hey, do you like the color black? Do you like the color white? There's so many things. What kind of underwear do you wear? You have to talk, and it sounds crazy, but you got to talk about this stuff so you can know who's what and what's what. Go to their house.
That's the
Sneak in
beginning
their drawer,
stages.
look in their drawer, look in their
Th-
stuff. You got to see what's going on because people crazy. I'm trying to
That's
tell
the
you.
beginning. That's the beginning stages of what you're trying to build with that person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
remember I remember one time, I ain't lying, y'all. I was dating one time and I had this girl, literally, I promise you, I'm not lying. We met. She came to my hotel. We didn't have sex, nothing like that, because she was on her stuff, right? But the chick said to me before I met her, and we was talking on the phone, she said to me, I like to use my man's toothbrush. Now, to me, I'm like, that's nasty. But to
She
some people,
she's trying to
that's
put some voodoo on you, boy.
it's okay. And bro, let me tell you, we was in a hotel and we woke up. She used my toothbrush. I was shocked. I threw it away, but these are the things I'm talking about. You gotta talk about these things because there are people who we think is weird or who we think is not right. There are people who are comfortable with this type of stuff. So
Yeah.
you gotta really, really, really,
Have
really,
that
really
conversation.
check what you
Yo,
what you got.
yo, fellas, that is a conversation for the next live, my brothers. Like conversations that you need to have before you get in a relationship.
Hold on,
And
somebody said Renee, we said you just not gonna go and check my closet.
dude, in the next conversation that we have, the next live that we do, we gotta bring our brother Thomas on because
Yeah.
he's
For
working
sure.
with us hard tonight, and he was the only brother in the comment section. So next live, Thomas, I promise you, bro, we bringing you on, and y'all stay tuned. The Man Cave. It started off as just one show, but I think this is about to become a continual segment for after show vibes. At least once a month, y'all are gonna hear something from the fellas. So we love y'all, we appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all next month. Peace. Love y'all.